Hey guys, welcome to CA Dreams YouTube channel. So this is the video number 3 for your chapter number 4 of auditing. And we have to study the essay number 315 in this topic. Before starting with the topic, let me tell you the essay numbers. The essay numbers for today are essay number 300, 320 and 330. 320, 320 and 330, okay? You have to write the names of these essay and 315 I am going to teach you today. So, identifying and assessing the risk of material misstatement. See, I'll tell you when I'll explain the paragraph separately for Hindi and English audience, but for the starting of the video, I want both of my audience to pay attention on what I am going to teach you. Okay, so what is the name of this essay? The name of this essay 315 is Identifying and Assessing the Risk of Material Misstatement. Identify means identifying. You are identifying that there is a risk. How will you identify it? You will identify that there is a risk if you will find that controls are not working properly or the entity is not disciplined. So there is an implication that if the controls are not effective, if the organization is not that disciplined, so there might be some risk. So in this way you are identifying, and then you are going to assess this. After identification, what you are going to do? You are going to assess. See, identification is derived from the word identity. Identity means my identity is my name, right? So my name is Soumya. So this is my identity. Similarly, you all have your identities. So what is the identity of the risk? The misstatement you are going to find, or the ineffective controls you are going to find. Okay, so these are your identifying. And assessing means calculating its impact. So what is the impact of that risk? To what degree, to what extent is the risk, is your assessing. Okay, so identifying and assessing the risk of material misstatement through, now how will you do this? Through understanding the entity and its environment. Now in the entity you are going to audit, you have to take the understanding of that entity. So you have to understand the entity and its environment, and what you are going to do there for the risk assessment procedure, you're going to identify and assess the risk of material misstatement. So what is the objective of the auditor as per this essay? To identify and assess the risk of material misstatement. Now this material misstatement can be due to fraud or error, this you all know, and this is basically at two levels: financial level and assertion level. Now how will you do this? Through understanding the entity and its environment, and you will also test the controls. Okay, internal controls. You all have studied in control risk that what is the control risk? Control risk is that risk in which the controls implemented by the management fail to prevent, detect or correct the risk, right? So the management first implements some control, and then the auditors check, and if he finds that these controls are not working properly, so there is some control risk. So this inherent risk, control risk, is all a part of this essay. Okay, the auditor is taking the understanding of the entity and its and is identifying and assessing the risk of material misstatement. So how is he going to identify and assess the risk of material misstatement? By understanding the entity and its environment and its internal control. Okay, he'll check the efficiency of those internal controls, and in this way he will be provided a basis for designing and implementing responses to the assessed risk of material misstatement. Now suppose he finds that controls are not that effective at this level, so what he will do? He will do some other audit procedures. So in after the risk assessment procedure, it gives the audit a basis to design his appropriate further audit procedures, and this will also help the auditor to reduce the risk of material misstatement to an acceptably low level. Okay, now let us understand the objective in detail. So this was in short, and now we are going to discuss this all in detail. For those who could not understand in English, let me just tell you the summary of whatever we have learned in Hindi. इसमें हम लोगों ने सिर्फ ये बात करी कि जो नाम है इसी से हम लोगों ने बात की है. आइडेंटिफाई मतलब पहचानना, असेसिंग मतलब ये कैलकुलेट करना कि उसका क्या इम्पैक्ट होगा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में. तो हम ये कैसे करते हैं? हम अंडरस्टैंडिंग देते हैं एंटिटी की और उसके एनवायरनमेंट की, और हम कंट्रोल्स देखते हैं कि मैनेजमेंट ने क्या कंट्रोल्स लगा रखे हैं. अगर हमें लगता है कि वो इफेक्टिव है तो हम फिर उसके अकॉर्डिंग फर्दर ऑडिट प्रोसीजर लगाते हैं. अगर लगता है नहीं है उतने इफेक्टिव तो उसके अकॉर्डिंग हम लोग अपना फर्दर ऑडिट प्रोसीजर बनाएंगे. अब हम लोग इसको डिटेल में पढ़ने वाले हैं. So identifying and assess the risk of material misstatement. So first point आपका ये था. So that is why first point was this, and second point was 2.1 is your identifying and assessing the risk of material misstatement, and your 2.2 is understanding the entity, and 2.3 is understanding the entity and its environment, including its internal control. So in this way, this topic is divided basically into 3 parts. Okay. So let's study all these parts one by one. First portion is your identifying and assessing the risk of material misstatement. So first part is basically till here. Identifying and assessing the risk of material misstatement. So how will we identify and assess that there is a risk of material misstatement in the entity? We will check it on 2 levels. First is your financial statement level and second is your assertion level. Now we all know that assertion level is basically for 3 levels: classes of transactions, account balances, and disclosures. And in this way, you as an auditor will be provided with the basis for designing and performing further audit procedures. Now I'm going to explain all these points first in Hindi, and then I'll explain you this in English. फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ आइडेंटिफाइंग असेसिंग द रिस्क ऑफ मटेरियल मिसस्टेटमेंट. अब ऑडिटर को अगर एक्सप्लेन करना है, आई गेस आपको ये फर्स्ट पॉइंट तो इजीली आपको समझ में आ गया होगा कि फाइनेंशियल लेवल और रिसर्च लेवल, हम 2 लेवल पे रिस्क ऑफ मटेरियल मिसस्टेटमेंट को चेक करते हैं. तो अब जब हम करेंगे, ये चेक करेंगे, आइडेंटिफाई एंड असेस करेंगे रिस्क ऑफ मटेरियल मिसस्टेटमेंट को, तो हमें क्या क्या करना होगा. हमने अभी ये तो देख लिया कि हम 2 लेवल पे चेक करेंगे. अब हम कैसे करेंगे, क्या क्या करना होगा. तो हम पहले तो अंडरस्टैंडिंग लेंगे एंटिटी की, इन्वायरमेंट की और उसके इंटरनल कंट्रोल्स की. ठीक है, दैट रिलेट टू द रिस्क. एंड हम कंसीडर करेंगे क्लासेस ऑफ ट्रांजेक्शंस, अकाउंट बैलेंसेस एंड डिस्क्लोजर्स को. तो ये तो हो गया आपका वही वाला पॉइंट, अंडरस्टैंडिंग द एंटिटी वाला. फिर सेकेंड है असेस द आइडेंटिफाई रिस्क एंड इवेल्युएट वेदर दे रिलेट मोर परवेसिवली टू द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स एज अ होल एंड पोटेंशियली अफेक्ट मैनी असर्शंस. फिर आपको उसका इम्पैक्ट देखना है. फर्स्ट पॉइंट आपने आइडेंटिफाई किया, सेकंड पॉइंट आपने असेस किया. तो इसमें आप इम्पैक्ट देख रहे हो कि फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स को पूरे लेवल पे करें, या ऐसा तो नहीं कि कई सारी असर्शंस को ये इसमें रिस्क है. ठीक है ना. तो ये सब चीज़ आप चेक करोगे. फिर थर्ड पॉइंट होगा रिलेट द आइडेंटिफाई रिस्क टू व्हाट कैन गो रॉन्ग एट द असर्शन लेवल एंड टेकिंग अकाउंट ऑफ रेलिवेंट कंट्रोल्स दैट द ऑडिटर इंटेंड्स टू टेस्ट. फिर आप क्या करोगे, जो आपने रिस्क पहचानी है तो आप ये देखोगे कि क्या इसमें गलत हो रहा है इस असर्शन लेवल पे जो ये रिस्क हो रही है. फिर आप क्या करोगे, रेलेवेंट कंट्रोल्स का टेस्ट करोगे कि क्या इन्होंने ये कंट्रोल्स लगाए भी थे, कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं इन्होंने ये कंट्रोल्स ही नहीं लगाए, इस वजह से ये गड़बड़ी हो रही है यहाँ पे. फिर उसके बाद में कंसीडर द लाइकलीहुड ऑफ मिस स्टेटमेंट इंक्लूडिंग द पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ मल्टीपल मिस स्टेटमेंट्स एंड वेदर द पोटेंशियल मिस स्टेटमेंट इज ऑफ अ मैग्नीट्यूड दैट कुड रिजल्ट इन अ मटीरियल मिस स्टेटमेंट. फिर उसके बाद में आप ये देखोगे कि मिस स्टेटमेंट होने की कितने ज़्यादा चांसेस हैं, इंक्लूडिंग द पॉसिबिलिटी, कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं कि मल्टीपल मिस स्टेटमेंट्स यहाँ हो सकती हैं. एंड वेदर द पोटेंशियल मिस स्टेटमेंट इज ऑफ अ मैग्नीट्यूड दैट कुड रिजल्ट इन अ मटीरियल मिस स्टेटमेंट. फिर आप, क्योंकि आपने आइडेंटिफिकेशन कर लिया, असेसिंग कर लिया, तो आपको एक आइडिया लग जाएगा कि हाँ मिस स्टेटमेंट होने के और कितने चांसेस हैं. लाइक सपोज उन्होंने कुछ सुपीरियर एंड सबऑर्डिनेट का बनाया ही नहीं है, कुछ ऐसा उन्होंने बनाया ही नहीं है कि आपको इसको रिपोर्ट करना है, कुछ चेक करने वाला ही नहीं है जो सबऑर्डिनेट्स हैं. तो वहाँ पे आपको क्या दिख जाएगा, यहाँ पे लाइक्लीहुड मिस स्टेटमेंट का बहुत ज़्यादा है. तो ये वाला पोर्शन आपका ओवर हो गया. I am going to explain all these 4 points in English, and those who have understood in Hindi, please stay in the video because this will help you revise all the 4 points again. Okay, so starting with the first point. Till here, I guess it is clear that identifying and assessing the risk of material misstatement. So we identify and assess the risk of material misstatement at 2 levels: financial level, financial statement level, and assertion level. Now, how will you do this? First, you will identify through the process of obtaining an understanding of entity, environment, and controls. Now, if you will find that you will find that whether the controls are effective or ineffective, and what is the basic structure of the entity. Okay, so first point is talking about this. Then second point is assessing. Now, you have identified the risk. Like suppose you found that the controls were ineffective, so that means there is a high risk of material misstatement, right? So what you will do, you will assess that the risk you have identified, so what is the impact of those risks. Means is it impacting financial statements as a whole, or it is impacting assertions, many assertions or some assertions, right? Pervasively means at all levels to the financial statements as a whole. So you will check the extent of that identified risk. And then third point is your relate the identified risk to what can go wrong at the assertion level, taking account of relevant controls that the auditor needs to test. Now you have identified the risk. Secondly, you have assessed the risk. Now what you will do? You will check that what is the cause of that risk, what was going wrong, and what should have been done to protect it, to prevent it, right? So you will check the controls, and you will test the controls, that whether these controls, where are they lacking, and when you will find the cause, you will suggest it to the management about it. And then fourth is the consideration of likelihood. That means when you will find that there is a high risk, or you will find that the organization is not well disciplined, so you will consider that what can be the likelihood of misstatement. That means what are the chances that in future also there might be some misstatements. So this all you have to do in identification and assessment of risk of material misstatement. Now second is a risk assessment procedure. So what is the definition? The definition is the audit procedure performed to obtain an understanding of the entity and its environment, including the entity's internal control. So this we have discussed in the last part only. Understanding the entity, environment and internal control to identify and assess the risk of material misstatement. So till here it is all about your SA 315, whether due to fraud or error at the financial statement and the assertion level. Though this definition is already understood. Now, risk assessment procedure, a basis for identification and assessment of risk of material misstatement at the financial levels and assertion level. This is again repetitive. What is risk assessment procedure? It is a basis by which we identify and assess the risk of material misstatement. So the auditor shall perform risk assessment procedure to provide a basis for the identification and risk at the financial level, assertion level. Risk assessment procedure by themselves, however, do not provide a sufficient appropriate audit evidence on which to base the audit opinion. Now this can be asked in MCQ. They are saying कि जो रिस्क असेसमेंट प्रोसीजर है, क्या वो सफिशिएंट एंड अप्रोप्रिएट ऑडिट एविडेंस है जिसके बेसिस पे आप ओपिनियन दे दोगे? रिस्क असेसमेंट प्रोसीजर से ही क्या आप ओपिनियन दे दोगे? नहीं, आपको क्या क्या स्टेप्स करने होते हैं, रैप फैप ये सब आप लोगों ने पढ़ा है, रिस्क असेसमेंट प्रोसीजर, फर्दर ऑडिट प्रोसीजर, फिर उसके बाद आप उसका सब कंक्लूजन पे जाके रीच करते हो, तब आप ओपिनियन देते हो. Okay, so this can be asked in MCQ. So you have to write no, if it is not a sufficient and appropriate audit evidence, you have to do further audit procedure and then you will obtain some evidence and then you will reach to an opinion. By doing only risk assessment procedure, you cannot reach to a valid opinion. So this statement will be wrong if it is asked in correct or incorrect or MCQ. Okay, so please highlight this line. Risk assessment procedure by themselves, however, do not provide sufficient and appropriate audit evidence on which to base the audit opinion. ठीक है, first you have to do RAP, then you have to do FAP, and then you will obtain some evidence and then you will reach to a opinion. Okay, then your next part is information obtained by performing risk assessment procedure used as audit evidence. Now it is not a sufficient and appropriate audit evidence, but it can be used as an audit evidence. So you will write it is not sufficient and appropriate audit evidence, but it can be used as an audit evidence. Okay, so information obtained by performing risk assessment procedures and related activities may be used by the auditor as audit evidence to support assessment of risk of material misstatement. To support. So this is supportive. Okay, it is not conclusive. In addition, the auditor may obtain audit evidence about classes of transactions, account balances or disclosures and related assertions, and about the operating effectiveness of controls, and even though such procedures were not specifically planned as substantive procedures or a test of controls. The auditor may choose to perform substantive procedures or test of controls concurrently with the risk of material misstatement because it is efficient to do so. Till here, I guess it is clear to all. In addition, the auditor may obtain audit evidence about classes of transactions. That means in addition, the auditor may obtain audit evidence about your further assertions. See, first they are saying that the information through RAP, information through risk assessment procedure, they are using it as a audit evidence. जो risk assessment procedure की information है पहले तो वो उसको as an audit evidence use कर सकते हैं. Plus they can also use the evidence they have obtained from the various assertions. ठीक है, and about the operating effectiveness of controls, even though such procedures were not specifically planned, but for an evidence, they were not as such planned, but for evidence, to obtain a more conclusive evidence. What the auditor is doing, he is testing the assertions. The auditor may also choose to perform substantive procedures of or test of controls concurrently with the risk assessment procedure because it is efficient to do so. Now this is the main conclusive line, that the auditor may do the substantive procedures along with the risk assessment procedures in order to obtain more appropriate audit evidence. Okay. So risk assessment procedures alone do not provide sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. I guess it is clear to you all. In लेट मी एक्सप्लेन यू दिस हिंदी अगेन. इसमें लोगों ने ये बात करी है कि जो इन्फॉर्मेशन ऑब्टेन हुई है रिस्क असेसमेंट प्रोसीजर में, वो तो ऑडिटर एविडेंस की तरह यूज़ कर ही सकता है, हालांकि वो सफिशिएंट एंड अप्रोप्रिएट ऑडिट एविडेंस नहीं है. और साथ ही में उसके साथ में जो ऑडिटर है वो उसकी मर्ज़ी है कि वो असर्शंस को चेक कर रहा है, सब्सटेंसिव प्रोसीजर्स कर रहा है, टेस्ट ऑफ कंट्रोल्स कर रहा है. उससे उसको क्या होगा, उससे उसको और एफिशिएंट ओपिनियन मिल जाएगा. ठीक है, तो बस इन्होंने यहाँ तक यही बात करी है, इनकेस अगर किसी को समझ में नहीं आ पाया था. एंड प्लीज़ लेट मी नो योर डाउट्स. आई डोंट गेट एनी डाउट्स. So please, if you find that you are not clear on any topic, so you can tell me and explain you. Okay. The risk to be assessed include both those due to error and due to fraud. We discuss that risk of material misstatement can be either due to fraud or it can be due to error, right? So the risk to be assessed include both these due to error and those due to fraud, and this is covered by this essay. However, the significance of fraud is such that the further requirements and guidance are included in essay 240. Now what was essay 240? They are saying that if there is risk of material misstatement due to fraud, then you also have to refer the essay 240, and the essay 240 name is the auditor's responsibility relating to fraud in an audit of financial statements in relation to the risk assessment procedures and related activities to obtain information that is used to identify the risk of misstatement due to fraud. It is also discussed in chapter 5. So they are just saying that if you find that the risk of material misstatement is due to fraud, then you also have to refer the chapter number 5 in essay 240, nothing else. Okay. Now what is included in risk assessment procedure? So the risk assessment procedure shall basically include inquiries of management, analytical procedure, and observation and inspection. Inquiries of management, analytical procedures, observation and inspection. So this all is included in your risk assessment procedures. Now we will read this, we will understand this one by one. Let me put my mobile to airplane mode or else it will disturb us. Yeah. So coming back, now we are going to discuss. We just discussed about essay number 315. Then we discussed what all is what all is your risk assessment procedure. Now we are basically learning the steps of risk assessment procedure. Okay, that what is included in it, how will we do the risk assessment procedure. Now they just said that we have to identify and assess. अभी तक उन्होंने ये बोला आइडेंटिफिकेशन करो, असेसमेंट करो, आइडेंटिफिकेशन करो, असेसमेंट करो, अंडरस्टैंडिंग लो. अब करें कैसे ये, तो उन सारे की सारी जो हम बातें कर सकते हैं रिस्क असेसमेंट प्रोसीजर में, उसके इन्होंने स्टेप्स दे रखे हैं कि आप मैनेजमेंट से इंक्वायरी ले सकते हो, एनालिटिकल प्रोसीजर कर सकते हो, ऑब्जर्वेशन कर सकते हो, इंस्पेक्शन कर सकते हो. फिर आप ये आइडेंटिफाई कर पाओगे और असेस भी कर पाओगे कि जो रिस्क है वो किस हद तक है. ठीक है ना. So first I am explaining this in Hindi and then I'll explain it in English. Okay, so inquiries of management and others within the entity. Much of the information obtained by the auditor's inquiry is obtained from management and those responsible for financial reporting. तो मतलब ये कि जो मैक्सिमम आपको इंक्वायरीज होती हैं वो या तो आपका मैनेजमेंट सॉल्व करता है या फिर जिन्होंने फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग करी होती है वो सॉल्व करते हैं. हाउएवर द ऑडिटर में ऑल्सो ऑब्टेन इन्फॉर्मेशन ऑफ अ डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव इन आइडेंटिफाइंग रिस्क ऑफ मटेरियल मिसस्टेटमेंट थ्रू इंक्वायरीज ऑफ अदर्स विद इन द एंटिटी. लेकिन ये बोल रहा है कि मैनेजमेंट के साथ साथ आप अदर्स से भी बात कर सकते हो रिस्क के रिगार्डिंग एंड अदर एम्प्लॉयज़ विद इन डिफरेंट लेवल्स ऑफ अथॉरिटी. एम्प्लॉय से भी बात कर सकते हो और बाकी लोगों से भी बात कर सकते हो जो एंटिटी में है. अब इसमें इन्होंने एग्जाम्पल दे रखे हैं with TCWG towards internal audit personnel and employees, in-house legal counsel, इन सब से भी आप जो है वो इंक्वायरी ले सकते हो. ठीक है. So please have a read of this. Let me explain on this in English. See, they are just saying that you as an auditor have the authority to inquire by the management and other members in the entity. So they can be employees, they can be any people in the entity if you want to do the risk assessment procedure. So they just have given some examples that you can ask the TCWG, and if you're finding any problematic area in internal audit, then you can ask the internal audit personnel, then employees, then any in-house legal counsel. So please have the reading of these examples. Now first point is what is included in the risk assessment procedure: inquiries by management and others within the entity. Now second point was analytical procedures. So the detail of this analytical procedure is your chapter number 8 SA 520, but what they have given here, let us have a read of it. This also explain you first in Hindi and then in English. So analytical procedures performed at risk assessment procedure may identify aspects of entity of which the auditor was unaware and may assist in assessing the risk of material misstatement in order to provide a basis for designing and implementing responses to the assessed risk. समझ में आया कुछ आपको? चलिए मैं आपको तोड़ के इसको पढ़ाती हूँ. तो एनालिटिकल प्रोसीजर्स परफॉर्म्ड एट रिस्क असेसमेंट प्रोसीजर. जो एनालिटिकल प्रोसीजर हम रिस्क असेसमेंट प्रोसीजर की तरह करेंगे वो क्या कर सकते हैं? मे आइडेंटिफाई एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ द एंटिटी ऑफ विच द ऑडिटर वॉज अनअवेयर. तो एनालिटिकल प्रोसीजर्स में वो एस्पेक्ट्स भी आ जाएंगे जिसके बारे में ऑडिटर को पता ही नहीं था. एंड मे असिस्ट इन असेसिंग द रिस्क ऑफ मटेरियल मिस स्टेटमेंट इन ऑर्डर टू, देखिए यहाँ आइडेंटिफाई करा एंड फिर क्या करेगा जिसके बारे में उसको पता ही नहीं था. मे असिस्ट इन असेसिंग द रिस्क ऑफ मटेरियल मिस स्टेटमेंट इन ऑर्डर टू प्रोवाइड अ बेसिस फॉर डिजाइनिंग एंड इम्प्लीमेंटिंग रिस्पॉन्सेज टू द ऑर्डर रिस्क. फिर अब उसको और रिस्क के बारे में भी पता लग गया ना जिसके बारे में उसको पता ही नहीं था, तो अब वो फिर उस पर डिज़ाइन करेगा. उसने असेस कर लिया, अब वो फिर क्या करेगा? रिस्पॉन्स के बारे में देखेगा कि इसमें क्या करूँ मैं फर्दर ऑडिट प्रोसीजर में. अब तो एनालिटिकल प्रोसीजर्स परफॉर्म्ड एट रिस्क असेसमेंट प्रोसीजर मे इंक्लूड बोथ फाइनेंशियल एंड नॉन फाइनेंशियल इन्फॉर्मेशन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन सेल्स एंड स्क्वायर फुटेज ऑफ सेलिंग स्पेस और वॉल्यूम ऑफ गुड्स सोल्ड. तो ये सब आपका एनालिटिकल प्रोसीजर्स में आता है. एंड ये दोनों इन्फॉर्मेशन, दोनों टाइप की इन्फॉर्मेशन जो है वो इंक्लूड करता है, फाइनेंशियल एंड नॉन फाइनेंशियल इन्फॉर्मेशन. सो द ऑडिटर एनालिटिकल प्रोसीजर में हेल्प आइडेंटिफाई द एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ अनयूजुअल ट्रांजेक्शन्स. ये उन ट्रांजेक्शन्स के बारे में हमें हेल्प करता है जानने में जो जिसके बारे में ऑडिटर ने अंदाज़ा नहीं लगाया होता, जो अनयूजुअल नेचर के होते हैं. अनयूजुअल ट्रांजेक्शन्स, इवेंट्स, अमाउंट, रेशियोज वगैरह. अनयूजुअल और अनएक्सपेक्टेड रिलेशनशिप्स दैट आर आइडेंटिफाइड मे असिस्ट द ऑडिटर. तो वो हेल्प कर सकते हैं ऑडिटर को इन आइडेंटिफाइंग द रिस्क ऑफ मटेरियल मिस स्टेटमेंट, स्पेशली रिस्क ऑफ मटेरियल मिस स्टेटमेंट ड्यू टू फ्रॉड. तो सबसे ज़्यादा जो खुलासा होता है ना एनालिटिकल प्रोसीजर करके वो फ्रॉड का होता है, क्योंकि फ्रॉड क्या होता है? सोफिस्टिकेटेड मैनर में होता है, हाइड कंसील करने के ऑब्जेक्टिव से होता है. ठीक है ना? However, when such analytical procedure use data aggregated at high level, which may be in situation with analytical procedure performed as risk assessment procedure. लेकिन ये जब डेटा जो होता है ये हाई लेवल पे होता है, तो रिजल्ट्स जो होते हैं एनालिटिकल प्रोसीजर पे, तो ये सिर्फ एक ब्रॉड इनिशियल इंडिकेशन देते हैं, लेकिन बिकॉज बहुत ज़्यादा हाई लेवल पे होता है तो ये कुछ भी बहुत प्रॉपर हमें रिजल्ट नहीं दे पाते हैं. अकॉर्डिंगली इन सच केसेस कंसिडरेशन ऑफ अदर इन्फॉर्मेशन दैट हैज़ बीन गैदर्ड व्हेन आइडेंटिफाइंग द रिस्क ऑफ मटेरियल मिसस्टेटमेंट टुगेदर. तो फिर हम उसको भी कंसिडर करते हैं जो हम लोगों ने रिस्क असेसमेंट प्रोसीजर के टाइम पे इन्फॉर्मेशन लिया होती है, एनालिटिकल प्रोसीजर के साथ हम उसको कंबाइन करते हैं. तो फिर उस कॉम्बिनेशन से हम लोग जो ऑडिटर है उसको हेल्प मिलती है अंडरस्टैंडिंग द रिजल्ट्स ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर एनालिटिकल प्रोसीजर. लेट मी एक्सप्लेन यू दिस होल इन इंग्लिश. See, in this we were talking about that analytical procedures, those are performed at risk assessment procedure. We perform some analytical procedure. These are the part of your risk assessment procedure. So the auditor performs analytical procedures. So what does he do? He, by doing the analytical procedures, he may identify some aspects of the entity of which the auditor was unaware. That means the auditor was not knowing of those events that existed in the entity. Okay, so the analytical procedures help to identify the aspects that the auditor was unaware, and in this way the auditor may assist in assessing the risk of material misstatement and providing a basis. That means he first identifies and then he assesses, and then may assist in assessing the risk of material misstatement and providing. Now See, first you have done the risk assessment procedure. You have identified some risk. Now you have done analytical procedures and you have identified some more aspects of which you were not knowing. So now what you will do, you will design more further audit procedures. So this will again help the auditor to provide a basis to give more responses, to provide a basis for designing the further audit procedure basically. Okay. Now analytical procedure performed as risk assessment procedure may include both financial information and non-financial information. So this is basically your analytical procedure. That means those risk assessment procedure which include both financial and non-financial information. The example is given between CS and square footage of selling space or volume of goods. This may be your analytical procedures. Now analytical procedures helps the auditor to find those transactions which are of unusual nature or they are unexpected. Okay, so in this way the auditor comes to know about the more risk, right? And when he comes to know about more risk or the risk he has escaped in the first step, so in that way he makes some more further audit procedure and that he may reach to more efficient opinion. Now there is a point given that if the analytical procedure uses the data that is aggregated at high level, the analytical procedure basically helps to determine the fraud. Okay, they are saying that it is more useful where fraud exists, but if it is the data is aggregated at high level, then analytical procedure also fails to work. So in that case what we have to do is we have to combine the result of analytical procedure and we have to also combine the result of the identified risk assessment procedure, and that in that way you understand and evaluate and then you reach to a conclusion. So this was your analytical procedure. Now third is your observation and inspection. So observation and inspection may support the inquiries of management and others and may also provide information about the entity and its environment. Observe means to see, inspect means to analyze, to check that whether it is correct or incorrect. So by this you can understand and you can support the inquiries of management and others, and this may also help you to provide more information about the entity. So I guess this point is pretty much clear. They have given an example of such audit procedure include observation on inspection, so entities operations. So observation can be of documents, right, of documents of the entity, then reports, then the entities, premises and plant facilities. So what are the 3 points included in your risk assessment procedure? Inquiries of management and with others in the entity. Second is an analytical procedure, and third is your observation and inspection. Okay, so this is the video, and I'm ending this video here, and I will discuss these two topics in the next video because 27 minutes video has been recorded and otherwise it will be too lengthy, and too lengthy videos are very problematic to upload. Okay, so I'll continue this in the next video, and I'll start with the third topic as well. Okay, so all the best to you all, and please continue your preparations and don't get distracted. I know this is the tough time, this is a tough time going with all of us, but we just have to deal with, and all the best for your preparations. I'm ending the video here only. Thank you so much.